The influx of beggars of the Federal Capital Territory beggars and their congregation in some parts of the city is beginning to constitute a nuisance to the environment. Maria Olashende reports that the beggars are appealing to the federal government to relocate them to their states and make life more meaningful for them.
This is somewhere in Federal Housing, Lugbe, Abuja, where every day these women and their children resume for work at this point to beg for alms. They have their mats, some spread their clothes, use curtains or sacks and sleep conveniently outside like they're in their living rooms, hoping for good Samaritans to make their day. TVC News observed as good Samaritans give them mangoes, live chicken and money. I engaged them on why they had chosen to make a living from begging. After much coaxing and persuasion, they decided to open up, claiming they are from Dara in Katsina State and are helpless and have nothing doing. They beseech the federal government to come to their assistance or relocate them back to base.
Food brought us here. We have little kids, so we come to find food in order to feed them. Lack of shelter, food, and clothes brought us here. Our husbands don't stay. They are always out and not caring about us. So we have to strive for ourselves and our kids. We stay on the streets in order to source for food for our kids.
Hawa is heavily pregnant. She said her husband is in Katsina State and she'll return home as her delivery date draws near. I asked her if she attends antenatal. She answered in the negative.
I know when I will give birth, so when it's almost time, I will go back home. If we get the money, we would share so that we can send it home for our kids to get food to eat. And it's about 4 to 6 persons that sleep in the room.
Their children look unkept, which prompted me to ask how they get medical attention for themselves and their babies when they fall sick, since they don't visit the hospital for immunization. They say they rely on immunization officers from the health ministry who move around to immunize children.
If she's not breastfeeding a child anymore, 1 more year later, we take them to school until we go back home before he is taken to school, because without proper feeding, the child will not be sustained.
This 10-year-old girl who should be in school at this time is sick. Her mom says she just came in from the village to join her in this trade. She said it's the ointment she's holding that she has been using to treat her because she can't afford hospital bills.
She is my child. I gave birth to her, and when we came, she was very much healthy. I arrived yesterday with her, and now she is sick.
TVC News left the area and chanced upon another street in Federal Housing, Lugbe, where only men stay to beg for alms. The men also say they are from Dara in Katsina State and are willing to relocate if government gives them food and land to farm.
We came to get food for our wives at home so that we can feed them and our kids. We know that begging is shameful, but at our age, there is little we can do unless we beg.
TVC News met Badaru and his wife, who offered to take us to where they live. This slum is where they call home. The houses are built with sacks and plywood. We saw lots of children who should be in school, and we were told they don't go to school. Hello. This is Tipper Garage here in Lugbe, and this is Badaru. He says he pays 2,000 naira monthly as rent. They leave home as early as 6 a.m. and they come in as late as 10 p.m. It is when they go out and people give them money or food. That is how they earn a living. TVC News also caught up with Zainab counting the proceeds they had made for the day with her father, who is visually impaired. She spoke to us off camera that she would have loved to go to school, but there was no one to assist her dad in alms begging. For this passerby, he's convinced that these beggars are doing it as a venture that has become a way of life.
It's not because they lack. It's a venture. It's something that it's an inherent something from the beginning. Even government relocate them, they will not leave this war. I am telling you the truth. I am telling you, as you are relocating them back to their places, they are coming back again.
We decided to find out what government is doing to get the beggars off the streets of the Federal Capital Territory. TVC News visited the Abuja Environmental Protection Board and got these figures. In 2016, 1,232 beggars and destitutes were arrested and taken to the Buhari Rehabilitation Center. In 2017, 661 were apprehended, and in 2018, 1,361 beggars were also arrested and taken to the Buhari Rehabilitation Center. The beggars always find their way back to the streets, but the big question is, why?
We are on top of the situation and we are going after them every day. We are going to arrest them. 19 beggars, destitutes, and early this morning they came into our Area 3 office, collected them and took them to the Buhari Rehabilitation Center. All the destitutes within the territory and elsewhere, even elsewhere, are coming to Abuja because they know in Abuja they are getting higher than what they are getting in the other states of the Federation.
Young boys and girls can also be seen begging for alms from people coming back from work in traffic along the roads leading to Lugbe, while their parents sit not too far away, monitoring their progress. This is how they sit here from morning till night, waiting for people to give them food, clothes, and even shelter. They are appealing to the federal government to assist them by relocating them to their various states. Maria Olashainde, TVC News, Abuja.